welcome all of you at this fourth learning session that we are doing with PCDC. I also want to recognize the really outstanding LPHI team that has been working with all of you for many years, but especially on Beacon program. You've had emails, phone calls, repeated phone calls and emails from all of them. But they have really worked this beyond the call of duty, I would say, because they understand the value of the work that is being done here.
I want to take a moment and kind of recap where we are in the project. Fred says I'm done. You guys know this because you've lived it. This is our fourth learning session, and we're entering our fourth activity period. So you have lived working on and implementing care management processes in your centers, population management and risk stratification, which was our second activity period. You've begun to work on transitions of care, and now we will begin the fourth activity period, which is clinical decision support. And then to wrap up the project, probably sometime in December, we will be back to talk about sustainability and how you sustain all this wonderful work that you've done over the course of the year, so that when we go home, you can continue to do these great things. So just a sample of the new care processes that you've implemented so far. Many people are doing pre-visit planning. Many people have standing orders. There's a lot of health coaching going on, care plans. A bunch of you are doing group visits. We have chronic disease risk assessments. Many people using registries and risk strategies.
You know, there's no like one right answer. It's more like either what you've learned all the way till now, sort of just putting that together to solve it.
With this particular patient population, you want to know when they went to emergency room, when they were hospitalized, right?
Several ways we can get there, but we have to jointly decide how we're going to get there.
Sure, but
What items are you going to take to help control blood pressure
I
on
would
your
like
trip?
to take along with me my PDSA process, population management registries, medication reconciliation, and health coaching.
And why did you choose population management registries?
In order to determine what patients we're dealing with, we need to have a registry established so we know what patients we're trying to target. And we also wanted to take along the PDSA so that we could identify what our issues are and establish goals and processes to attain that goal. And we chose medication reconciliation because we need to be in touch with the patients, finding out what medications they're on, what medications they're not taking or purchasing or whatever. And as far as the health coaching, we want to individualize with the patient and call them up and make sure that they're taking their medications and going to their visits. Taking their medications and going to their provider visits.
Excellent.
So the first thing I want you to do is think about an outcomes measure and a clinical objective, okay? So what do we want to have done for all of our diabetic or CVD patients? And we have on your table, if everyone can look on the table too, there should be a packet that shows your outcomes measures. It's a stapled packet. Everyone open it up. Okay, so here you have your outcomes measures that we submit to LPHI. Everyone remembers those? Okay, so you can kind of see how you're performing right now on that particular outcomes measure that's tied to that clinical objective. So again, for example, clinical objective is to have every patient that has diabetes to have an annual foot exam. That's going to be our first thing you write on the post-it. Okay? The second thing you write on the post-it is how are you performing on the outcome measure that's tied to that clinical objective. Okay, so try and pick a clinical objective that's based on one of these outcomes measures. If not, it's okay, you can guesstimate a little bit, right? But we want you to think about how we're performing now. That's the second post-it.
Yeah, so there's tools, not only the apps where you type it in, there's monitors that you wear and they keep track of your activity and things like that, and it automatically puts it into an app. There's very sophisticated tools like that that are available. Smart pill bottles that people use at home. I mean, there's all manner of technology that's available for patients to do a lot of the kinds of things that we're talking about here. It's become more and more prevalent. The prices of it are going down. So again, that will provide additional opportunities of data that we can gather, channels that we can get it through that are very important for moving the needle on these outcomes. This is great. Let's, I think we'll bring it home.
So if you use Clinical Event Manager, this is where you set up your clinical decision support ruled. And so this clinical event manager is going to look just a little bit different from what you have right now, just because we have a new release that's just coming out, and I'm going to show that to you today so that you can see some additional features that we're rolling out.
We received a postcard from Excel, and they have a picture of all the wonderful things that they would be doing for their diabetics, or just for their, looks like their diabetics or their patients in general. They'll be doing exercise, diets, annual foot exams, annual eye exams, dental exams, pneumovacs, their immunizations, blood pressure control, blood sugar checks. And they say, "Dear Surgeon General, we are happy to report that we have developed a care plan for our patients to better control their diabetes." Yay! Yay!
Think about it like that. So if it was a new order set, if it was a new template, if it was the text message thing, right, or if it was some type of reminder, just think about it.
The Affordable Care Act, another major driver in this area. Several different parts of that legislation have requirements about driving performance improvement that provides very important context for clinical decision support activities. So there's the value-based purchasing program that's kicking in right now that basically will reallocate some of the money that's going to pay for the DRGs to give sort of extra bumps in pay, given that 1% was already taken back, for higher performers against a certain very specific target, very specific performance measures. I've highlighted VTE prophylaxis here, but I'm going to circle back to that a little bit later in the talk. Hospital readmissions, another very important efficiency and safety and quality issue. Again, hospitals are getting penalized starting this month for if they have excess levels of readmissions. Over 2,000 hospitals are receiving those penalties, totaling about $280 million altogether, so it's around $125,000 for each hospital on average. So that's not a huge make or break amount of money, but it's certainly money that many hospitals can ill afford not to have.